Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com, and we're bringing up Tony right now, so see if we can get him on the line.
All right. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Tony, it's Neely and Chris from the Classic Metal Show. How you doing?
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, man, we were just playing a little bit of your tunage here. We just played that instrumental, Out From Under the Black Cloud. And
the instrumental. Ah.
Yeah.
Is that an instrumental?
I would think it is. There's no vocal in it.
How can that be?
Well,
Not the one we got.
Oh, my God. Did I send you guys the wrong thing? Oh, bummer. Oh my God! Did you guys play that on the air?
Yeah, we played the whole thing.
Oh, how fucked up is that? Okay.
It was actually pretty good. I was gonna just use it as a music bed for some strange.
Oh my God, that is so lame. Look, do me a favor. You got to destroy that. You know the problem is I must have accidentally. Okay, bonehead move on my part. All right. So we can't remedy that before the show's over, probably, but I could try.
That's right.
Nice.
I'll send you the copy, and then we'll see what happens.
All right.
Anyway, I hope the rest of the ones I sent you have vocals on them, and you should check it out first.
Well, Tony, it's pretty cool that we got an exclusive that wasn't supposed to be heard. So
Yeah, do me a favor, though. Destroy that, because, bad things happen to good people.
Sure.
Not that I'm a good person, but,
Well, we consider you good because this is your third or fourth time on the Classic Metal Show, so you must like us or something,
Oh, you guys are always fun, so...
Well, we usually somehow end up chasing a lot of people away because they're just not used to the abrasiveness.
Oh, well, there's a lot of wimps out there in the music business, so...
Sure, man.
What can I say?
Yeah. Well, Tony, obviously, man, this is one of the busier times you have had in recent memory. I mean, going as far back as I can remember. I mean, you're active on a lot of different projects right now. Why don't we start by maybe you catching everybody up with, cinematic and all the different things that you're into right now, because it seems like you're probably busier than you've ever been.
Yes and no. I'm busy recording and writing. I'm probably busier doing that than I've ever been, in a way, without the touring in the middle of it, but I have been doing some local shows. Well, Starbreaker came out not long ago, the second album, so that's out and doing its thing. Cinematic is just kind of something I decided, I've been sitting on these demos. I haven't even shopped them to a record company. I wasn't ready to present them to anybody yet, and I thought, these sound really good. They're pretty close to album quality. I am re-recording all the songs. Some of them will make it on the final record. And it's had a great response. I'm really glad I did it. It's been great for the fans to get a little taste and sort of feel like they're a part of the process,
Sure.
And the writing continues, so that's ongoing. Other things that are happening, there's so much. Some things I can't talk about yet because they're just not written in stone, but there's a lot of, how shall we say, irons in the fire.
Very cool. Well, Tony, the one thing that I noticed, and this is, for an artist that's been doing it for 20 plus years, you're yet another one of these guys that I'm finding, and there's a slow swell of guys like yourself that are really starting to embrace the internet a lot more. you specifically, I've really been noticing how you've really used the Reverb Nation site to actually not only promote what you have coming up, but just to interact directly with the fans back and forth. Are you finding the internet to be a good outlet in this era of music?
Oh, absolutely, and I don't think I'm using it nearly as much as I should be or could be. So I'm really, I mean, I have been using it for quite a while, even more than, even while I was still in my former band. I was kind of the guy, you know, that was having most of the contact with the fans. I'm the guy that, you know, got our official website up and running, got the forum up and running. You know, I had help from a very good friend out in Michigan named Brian. But yeah, I mean, it's always, to me, as soon as it started getting big, I realized it was going to be a huge part of this whole thing. And now, being what I consider an independent artist, even though I do put records out on labels from time to time, it's you know, it's important. I mean, there's really no other way of doing it. The major labels are using it like crazy, and they have the money to spend to really do it right. But yeah, there's a lot more that I could be doing with it. I plan on learning, you know, as much as I can, getting other people to help, and just expanding on this, because it's to me you know, how should I put it? It's the sky's the limit, you know, as far as how far you can go with this. And I think you have to, you know, it's a tough thing. You have to interact with the fans. You have to be careful. You know, most of the fans are very respectful and awesome, and I haven't run into too many problems. You know, every now and again you get a few people that think that they're your best friend, and you know, they start to want your home phone number and you know, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, everybody's really great, respectful, and they love the fact that I'm, you know, in communication with them on such a high level. So it's good.
Well, Tony, I know we had you on the show, you know, last year, and you know, you broke away from, you know, your main band, TNT, a couple of years ago, and obviously taking a chance going out as a solo act. And you know, I don't know how lucrative TNT was for you, and being a solo guy, is this paying the bills? Because I know you're doing, I know you do voiceover work and stuff like that, you know, but
yeah, I don't really call it voiceover work. I mean, it's really voiceover work would be also something I'd love to do, and I probably will be doing. That's more like spoken stuff. So I do actually the singing on commercials.
The jingle work.
Well, that's, you know, yeah, that's one way of saying it. But you know, yeah, it's great. You know, the great thing about it is there's a union. You know, you get health insurance, and so it's kind of like a really easy day gig. And I love teaching. I'm still teaching. I teach online. I have a small, very select group of people that are, you know, I audition them to a degree, and I work with just about anybody for at least a few lessons and see how it goes, and then I sort of narrow it down to a small group of people that I love to work with, because I really do enjoy teaching. So I do that, and you know, I do releases on Frontiers, and I do a lot of session work that people don't even know about. You know, so I'm extremely active as a singer and a writer, and you know, I consider myself a working recording artist, and even though I'm not a quote household name, it's what I do for a living. I don't have to do something else right now to pay the mortgage, so that's a very cool thing.
Excellent. Well,
and there's always, being a writer, you know, being a songwriter, there's always that possibility of something popping, you know, in some large way. So it's cool just to be in the game.
Well, sure. Well, speaking of teaching and being an influence on the youths of America, I'm sure Chris has informed you that we have a couple of young listeners who tune into the Classic Metal Show and are influenced by, you know, classic artists such as yourself. And one of the guys that I want to bring on here with you, his name is Mikey, and he's been doing some CD reviews with us for almost a year. And
nice.
At 12 years old, the kid's pretty, well versed in what we consider classic metal or hard melodic rock, if you will. And
Wow. Maybe we could start a trend. We could start a whole new wave of, we'll get the third wave going of kids into this stuff. That's awesome.
Sure. Well, I want to introduce you to we call him the preteen sensation, Mikey. Mikey, say hello to Tony.
Hello, Mr. Harnell. This is Mikey.
Hey, Mikey. What's up, dude?
Not much. I have a CD review. I'm sitting on my laptop right here. I have a CD review of your new CD, Love's Dying Wish.
Wow. God, this kid sounds like he's 12 going on 40. What a smart kid.
Well,
Mikey, awesome.
Mikey, do us a favor and don't get wound up here. Just be very concise. He gets a little excited and gets really wound up, and he'll say 6 words in like the space of 1.
Oh, good. No, go for it, man. Get as wound up as you want. I love it.
They don't want me to get too wound up. I speak really, really, really fast. You can't hear me. But if you don't mind, I'm going to jump into the review right now.
Yeah, go for it.
I love the song, number 1, End of Alone. I love the vocal mixing on that one. The title track, obviously, was great. I thought the guitar on that one was good, as well as the vocals with the piano mixed in there, too. Kind of made it fit. Building a Wall was probably, number 6, probably the hardest song on here for its bass and vocal qualities. The Day Belongs to Us was good. I liked the intro and the outro. Best probably part on it was the line, the best line was probably We Need You. And the last one I liked too, This Close, number 12. It was just really cool. It's a nice song to end out the record with. And I'd have to give this one a total review of 9 out of 10. In fact, I've even used Starbreaker in some of my school PowerPoints.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. So can I ask you a question? When you mentioned the line that you liked in The Day Belongs to Us, what was that line again?
Day Belongs to Us, We Need You.
We Need You. That was the line that you liked. Do you know what the song? Did you get a sense of what the song's about?
I really didn't get what the song was about, but
yeah.
I think that I just liked it because of the instrumental qualities. Obviously, your vocals were just phenomenal on it.
Oh,
and
thank you.
The entire record, I mean, TNT, everything, this record, all of it's been good.
Oh, thank you. Well, that song in particular, I always try to try to mix the lyrics between, some of it's literal so that you can get a feel for what I'm talking about, and then I kind of like to go a little bit abstract, so I like to combine those two elements. But that song in particular, where I'm saying we need you, I think I say we need you to feed us, we need you, or something. I believe that's the line. And that song, what's actually about, and when you listen to it again, you'll probably get this more, is it starts off talking about the kind of stuff that you hear listening to the media, lies, things that we get fed every day. But what I'm really getting at is how important artists are, and that's really what the song is about. It's about the day belongs to us. It's kind of about about artists, about musicians, painters, actors, whatever, any form of art. It's about, basically kind of the idea that artists really need to stick around. They need to hang in there. They're an important part of society. That they feed society. They help bring society up to a different place, a different level, and that they're really, really important. And that they shouldn't be. It shouldn't be something that's dismissed. There's a lot of talk about what's going on the internet right now between and at your age you probably talk about this with your buddies a lot.
Yeah,
downloading music for free, versus buying it. And there's a lot to be said about that. I can appreciate how much it's turned people on to my music, being able to access it for free. On the other side of the coin, the downside of it is that as an artist, there's no other art form I can think of other than music where people can just take it after you've worked so hard, because most of these records take anywhere from 3 months to a year, you know, sometimes more, from song one, you know, from the first song you write until you finally mix it. And you work very hard, and you know, you really want to do a good job for the fans and for people just to kind of go take it. You know, sometimes it's a little bit tough, and so I try to see both sides. I love the internet, and I really do try to see the positive side of it, and I can, but I also see the other side of how important it is that we support artists, because if you look through history, they've always actually been a really important part of developing ideas. Most of the great, and I'm not one of these guys, but most of the really great inventors that you think of over the past, you know, 1,000 years, whether it's Thomas Edison or, you know, I don't know, Da Vinci or any of these kind of guys, painters and various people, have kind of doubled as people who have made huge impacts, whether it's with their art alone or whether it's because they've also, through their other interests, been able to create, you know, big changes in the world. So, anyway, enough of my rambling, but that's kind of the gist of the song.
And I have about like 2 or 3 other questions for you. Number one, you do a lot of really good, nice, solid vocals. Your vocals are incredible. How do you keep your voice in shape? What do you do?
I just take care of myself, you know. I try to take good care of myself. Try to eat well, and you know, it's simple. Just eat well, exercise, and I try to sing as often as I can. That's really the key. Try not to take too much time off of singing. I notice if even a couple of weeks go by, or a month goes by, and I haven't sung a lot, I definitely notice a difference. So just try to sing as much as I can.
Another question, too. I need to preface this. When I was younger, my dad used to drive me to school. We would listen to like Ian Gillan and Priest, and it sounds really weird.
As opposed to now, where you're, you know, riding your Harley to school, right?
No, I don't have a Harley. I barely have my bike, and it's been so cold here that I can't get it out. And I just wanted to know, and just knew when I first heard it through the Passion and everything, that this is the music I loved and always wanted to listen to. I mean, blues and all the others, they're okay, but metal was what I really loved. My question is, what was your first memory of metal when you knew it meant a lot to you? What was the first spark?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, it was funny. I had a buddy in junior high school in California, and I was probably about 13 or 14 years old, and he was probably my best friend, and I'm still friends with him now. And he played guitar, and I was always into music. My mom was an opera singer. I was always into music. I loved a lot of different kinds of music, and I sort of didn't really get into one particular kind of music. I was just kind of into whatever was good, you know. So it could have been Aerosmith, it could have been Elton John, it could have been the Beach Boys, the Beatles. Beatles really dominated. I mean, the Beatles dominated my early childhood for sure, more than anything, because my mom listened to them so much. So that was a huge thing. But the metal thing, my buddy, my guitar player, one day he just sat me down and he started to play me some stuff, and he actually had this great reel-to-reel. It was back in the 70s, so he had, you know, that was like the big thing. If you had a reel-to-reel, you had like the coolest stereo in the neighborhood, you know. And this was even better than a record player. And he had a reel-to-reel, and he had these great headphones, and he just put the headphones on me and sat me back in this comfortable chair, and he played Rush 2112. And I listened to the whole thing from start to finish, and I just kind of came out of that experience different. That's all I can say. And I just said, play me more. What else do you have, you know? And over the course of the next couple of weeks, you know, I got introduced to bands that I had never heard of before. I mean, this guy had UFO records, you know, and this is probably 1977 or 6 or, you know, way back. And he had stuff I had no idea. None of my friends had any of this stuff. And so I just kind of got really into it. And then one of my buddies, another buddy of mine, I said, look, I didn't have any albums yet that I owned. I said, give me 2 records. If you could give me 2 albums that you think would really signify this whole heavy rock, heavy metal. We weren't even calling it heavy metal at the time. It was just kind of like heavy hard rock or whatever we were calling it. Give me 2 records that can kind of get me started. And he gave me Rainbow Rising and Stained Class by Judas Priest. And it was just all over for me at that point. That was it. I was done.
I have a question. Sites like BearShare now gone on download sites and seen stuff like FrostWire and LimeWire. How have they affected like what you're doing with now with Starbreaker and TNT, where they can just go on there and I try to do things as legal as I can. I'll go through iTunes to get my music instead of going through LimeWire, BearShare, or FrostWire. How have they affected what you're doing?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He's talking about peer-to-peer, Tony. The peer-to-peer stuff so that people can download it and trade it illegally.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
BearShare, yeah.
Is that like the torrent stuff you mean?
Yeah, same concept. Same concept.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is one guy buys it and then he shares it with everybody. Is that kind of the deal?
Yeah, they post it on a website and it just takes off from there.
Right. You know, the way I look at it, if it builds an audience for me, and it starts to translate somehow into more people coming to the shows, it's gotta, see, here's the thing really, this is what I do, this is my job, and I'm not afraid to say that. For some reason, there's a group of people, on a few websites out there, quite a few actually. I'm not going to mention them, but because some of them say a lot of nice things about me, the guys that actually run them. But there's a lot of people that hang out and write things on some of these websites that have this funny idea that artists shouldn't make money. And it's really kind of a strange thing because it's kind of like saying, well, what do you do for a living? Well, if you're, think about it. If you're a doctor or if you're, a contractor or you build stuff or you're a computer guy, you're a graphic designer, whatever it is, they have to make money. They have to pay their bills and they have to eat and feed their kids and clothe, and all that kind of stuff. So from my perspective, as long as people get the idea that if they like what they hear and they appreciate the music, then at least go out and buy it. At least go support the artist and understand that if you like the music but you're not actually buying it from the artist, because look, CDs don't cost that much money, and it's probably about the only thing right now in this time where you can actually get it, you can buy it, and you're going to have it forever, and if you love it, it's always going to be with you. And especially now in the digital age, you can make as many CDs as you can wear a CD out, and you can make another one, you can keep it on 10 hard drives if you want to, and, you can have it forever. So I just think it's really important for people to understand that if they want their favorite artist to stick around and keep making records of high quality, and that's something that I pride myself in. I don't just accept any project. I get offers to do a lot of different projects. I try to be pretty picky about it because I want to make sure that the quality is of a certain caliber. And I just think that it's only fair that I get compensated in some way for that. And most, by the fair, I think paying $10 for a record that you really enjoy, if you really like it. If you hate it, don't buy it. If someone gave it to you, you don't like it, don't buy it. But if you like it, support the artist.
All right, Mikey. Well, we appreciate you, doing a little CD review for Tony and asking a few good questions there. And we're going to cut you loose and let somebody else have a chance.
Rock, Mikey. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you to Mr. Harnell for giving me all the great music and for allowing me to talk to you today, or tonight.
Thanks, buddy. Keep rocking.
Keep rocking, too, and hail and kill.
All right, Mikey. All right, if you want to talk to Tony, we'll leave the phone lines open here for a couple of minutes. 800.
Nobody's calling.
Well, I just have him on a single line here, but 800-497-5891. 800-497-5891 if you want to talk to Tony Harnell. All right, Tony. So now that you're, obviously working, I know when we talked to you last year, you were talking about doing some acoustic shows and maybe doing acoustic type CD or something. Are you still on track with that?
Right. Yeah, when you asked me what I was doing, I completely left out the record I'm working on right now. Well, I'm so focused on the solo album that I'm in the middle of, I actually got a little delayed on this. I recorded the music months ago. I'm in the middle of a retrospective album, which is really, really cool. I think people are going to be totally flipped out when they hear it. It's kind of in the spirit of Morning Wood, but really not, because it's all of my music. So what I've basically done is I've taken all the old songs, some TNT. It's not TNT packed. It does have, some of the important TNT songs. But they're totally, some of them are really reworked, more than probably people would even imagine. And so we've reworked things, a lot of Westworld, I think there's one Starbreaker, maybe two, I can't remember. But it's a nice collection of songs, and what I did on purpose is I grabbed guys that have been playing with me, doing these acoustic shows around New York that I've been doing lately, and they have nothing to do with the metal world. So they're totally like just great, very straightforward, creative musicians that are involved in sort of the underground New York City kind of singer-songwriter community. Great players, very versatile players that are just coming from a completely different angle. So you're not going to hear... these are not, this is not me trying to do like TNT songs or Westworld songs or any of these songs, in sort of some way to honor kind of the original versions. I mean, they stay true to the melodies, they stay true to the chords for the most part. We've changed some keys, we've done some arrangement changes, we've done some pretty heavy arrangement changes here and there. We've done some groove changes that are pretty drastic on some of the songs, and but it's just so much fun. It's a really fun thing that I did, and I felt that it was kind of something I wanted to do. It was something I wanted to do to kind of I didn't leave that situation under the best circumstances, and so I sort of left with a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth about the music, and I didn't want to do that because I know the music is so important to the fans. So what this record does for me is two things. One is kind of a gift for the fans. It's something that I think they'll put on, and hang out at a party and kind of get like almost a new perspective on all of these old songs that they've loved for years. And for me, it gives me a way of focusing on the parts of the song that I contributed to. So they're very, they're not as riff oriented. The songs are focused a lot more on the melodies and the lyrics, and we've kind of worked around that more. So you're not going to hear wild, crazy soloing, any of that. It's basically an acoustic record, but it's really turned into something a little bit more because there's electric guitar throughout. The acoustic guitar plays the biggest role, but it's a very kind of, I guess you could say kind of very 70s organic sounding kind of thing.
Sure. Well, we got a call here, Tony, so if you want to take the call.
Okay.
You're on the air, caller.
No, I'm not taking any calls, no.
You're on the air, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, my name's Becky, and, nice to talk to you guys. How you guys doing?
Hey, Becky.
I just have one question.
Okay.
Because I'm a college student. I'm studying music, music theory and music history and all that fun crap. And I'm actually more studying voice than anything. I was just wondering what kind of advice you could provide someone who wants to go out and perform and hopefully make it big someday.
How old are you?
19.
19. Okay, good age. I was going to say, get on it. Get on it now. And, basically, the best advice I can give you is just write a lot of songs, learn as many instruments as you can, or at least learn one really, really well so that you can write and be self-sufficient. That was a mistake that I made, is that I started actually as a guitar player, and when I started to sing in bands, I sort of dropped it, and that made me dependent on writing with other people. And I'm now trying to remedy that. But so my advice there is to definitely learn one or two instruments so that you're very self-sufficient and can write on your own, and focus on yourself. I know it sounds a bit cruel to say, but actually the road that I took was when I decided to actually do this for real. I was 17, and I actually quit college. I was in college very early, and I quit, and I just started to join bands. And what would happen is I would kind of outgrow the band and move on to the next band, And I think I was in something like 15 bands over a 3-year period. It was pretty crazy. But that process led me to playing, really important clubs in the New York area until it finally led me into the TNT thing, which led me to a worldwide record deal with a major, record label. And I guess my advice would be, loyalty is good. If you have good people around you that are really good people that you trust and you love, and they're really supportive and they're really behind you, and you guys are kind of all for one and one for all, and you really have that, then that's great. And it's hard to find, but if you find it, great. Do what you need to do, though, for yourself to get where you want to go. And you don't have to be a mean person, or you don't have to step on people to do that. But that would be my advice, is just keep your eye on the mountain and keep moving forward and just keep writing better and better songs. And actually, above and beyond all of that, try to find something in your art that is unique, something that's unique to you, and something which really makes you stand out from the crowd. But yet, don't go too far. You don't want to go to a place where, some people get so caught up in being original that nobody understands what they're doing. And if you read any good books about art or music, there's actually something to be said for a little bit of familiarity. So it's good to have good influences that people can latch onto right away. But anything that you have, whether it's a unique sounding voice or a unique way of writing songs or lyrics or whatever, that's the kind of stuff you want to focus on.
All right.
Was that good? Was that a good answer?
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right,
You're welcome.
All right, Becky. Thanks for the call. All right. If you want to talk to Tony, 800-497-5891. Already got another call here. You're on the air with Tony Harnell, caller.
What's going on, guys? How's it going, Tony?
What's happening?
Not much, man, not much. This is Ange. I just got a couple of questions for you. What are your tour dates, man? Where are you at? Give some shout-outs to the venues. Where are you going to be?
I'm just having a little bit of hard time. I'm having a hard time hearing what she's saying.
She wants to know where you're going to be performing next, if you got any dates coming up.
I don't have any booked right now. I'm totally focused on recording and writing. I've got 2 records that I'm in the middle of recording right now, a 3rd one possibly on the way. But I am looking at starting to book shows probably around mid to late summer into fall.
And
I'll probably be continuing, to do a lot from that point forward.
Right. Are you doing your booking in-house, or is someone, you got an agent, management company, whatever, doing that for you?
We're kind of open to all different things. I've got people, in various countries that we're working on different things. I got somebody in Japan right now working on stuff. I got somebody in Sweden right now working on stuff. We're looking for somebody reliable in the States. We've got, a few promoters here and there. So in the U.S. right now, it's a bit of a piecemeal thing.
Right, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's the U.S. for you. Tony, I appreciate your time, man. I'm not going to hold you. I've got a special guest here that just wanted to say something to you. It's just his opinion on you guys not getting out and playing real good. There you go. Rock on, man.
When you say you guys, you mean me or you mean TNT or what?
Well, I mean, just the whole, whatever your project is, the dog, Waddy didn't really care. He was just grumping and growling because there wasn't any live shows going on in the U.S. around here lately. He's been just, he's kind of testy.
Okay.
All right, Angie. Thanks for the call.
Okay,
Thank you, man.
thanks.
Rock on, Tony. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
All right. I bet you never got a call from a dog before, Tony.
Yeah, I didn't even understand half of what that was, but that was interesting. Okay.
800-497-5891 if you want to talk to Tony Harnell. We're only going to keep him for about a couple more minutes here, so if you want to get a question in here real quick, give us a call. So, as you were saying, Tony, what's on the horizon? You mentioned maybe doing some stuff in the fall. As far as here we go. You're on the air with Tony Harnell, there, caller.
Hail and kill.
What do you say?
Hail and kill, Tony. That's our little catchphrase. All right, caller.
RH, guys.
Well, go ahead. Ask Tony.
I gotta say, I'm totally behind you 100% on the getting royalties for the recording and stuff. I'm a musician as well, and whenever I make an album, my objective is to sell it and make the money so I can buy food and stuff. And what people don't really realize is that, what they always say is, you've got a lot of money, you don't need any more. Well, they don't realize that you spend all that money, so you need a little bit more. It doesn't just stay there forever.
Yeah, plus, it costs money to make a record, you got studios, now a lot of us are recording at home, but, even if you're doing that, you got gear to pay for, you got, and sometimes you got to record stuff at a regular studio, so it's a lot of money to make a record. It costs a lot less than it used to, but, people want to hear, a $500,000 album these days for, $5,000, and it's not that easy to do, believe me.
Absolutely.
It's just not that easy. But yeah, thank you for that support. It is important, and it's important for people to realize it and to understand it. If you're a band like Radiohead, then you can put your album up on the internet and say, hey, pay us what you want.
Yeah.
And if I was Radiohead, I'd do the same thing. And you know what? It worked for them because they did it for X amount of time. I think they did it for a month or something, or however long they did it. And then when they actually released it for real, it went to #1.
Yeah.
So it paid off for them. But you can't do that unless you're Radiohead or somebody of that stature.
Well, Tony, this kid is another youngster. You're 13, aren't you, RH?
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid can shred like nobody's business. He's like Eddie Van Halen reincarnated or something.
Wow. I'd love to hear something. You got send me a CD.
What's your address?
Well, we'll handle that for you, RH. We'll
take care of it for you.
We'll get you the info.
Okay.
But this kid really does. With this
you guys
kid,
will exchange that stuff. Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, this kid shred.
Love to hear something.
Yeah, this kid shred for us on the air a couple of weeks ago, there, Tony, and he's the real deal. All right,
Nice,
RH, is
nice.
that it?
Keep shredding.
Is that it, RH?
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
Okay, see ya.
All right, dude.
Well, let's see, Tony. You've gotten a you've talked to a 12-year-old tonight, a 13-year-old, and a dog. This is quite an interview.
It's awesome. Don't forget, there was a nice 19-year-old girl in there in the mix in the middle, but we did, yeah. The dog was the highlight, I think, of the. That was very bizarre. Okay. The dog was pissed that I wasn't touring. Was that the deal?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was growling and making all kinds of noises because he's all upset.
Oh boy. Probably howling when he hears the high notes on some of the old albums.
Sure. All right, Tony. Well, why don't you throw out those websites and MySpace and all that kind of stuff where people can find you?
Okay. The regular website is still under construction, but we are very close to launching at this point. We just had to. We've gotten off track a few times, but we're very, very close. I'd say I'm hoping that we're somewhere between a little over a month away from launching the new website. That's just TonyHarnell.com, so that's easy. That's where you can also buy Cinematic, where you heard the instrumental version of Out From Under the Black Cloud, which I really hope you'll destroy after this. And I will send you a real version of it. And I hope that the other versions I sent you were actual.
Nope. They're
Did
not.
Did you listen through any of that before you guys put it on, or?
Yeah. It was all instrumental stuff.
Are there There's no vocals anywhere?
There's no vocals on any of it.
You're joking, though, right?
I'm not joking.
Okay. Then I guess I must have pulled something out of an iTunes folder that I had that I was probably using for, I don't even know what it was for, some kind of a writing thing, or they were very old.
That's all right. We've only played the one, so we won't have a whole bunch more to play.
Uh-oh, he's cutting out.
Okay. If you guys send me shoot me an actual address, I'll get that to you. And
right.
What did you ask?
He's going.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
I know you asked me a question, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Websites.
Anyway,
where can people find you?
Yeah, what websites? MySpace, websites.
Websites, okay. So we got MySpace is basically Tony Harnell Online. After all the MySpace stuff, and then Reverb Nation, which is becoming a really great thing for me, is just www.reverbnation.com/Tony Harnell. Let's see, Facebook is, what is Facebook actually? I don't know if that's just Tony Harnell. I think it's just Tony Harnell. Believe it is. Yeah, I think that's just, yeah. So, find me, become a friend, a fan, whatever you want, and that's how people can stay in touch and find out what's going on. Definitely, if you don't have Cinematic, go get it. It's got great reviews, and there aren't many copies left, and they will all be signed. So.
Excellent, Tony. Well, we appreciate taking out 45 minutes here to talk to some of the fans and listen to CD reviews and dogs barking and college girls wanting your sage-like advice and all that kind of good stuff. So I thought maybe we would end this interview from your latest Starbreaker release.
Okay.
And you got a song on that you'd like us to play?
Do you guys like to go heavy? Like to go light?
Yeah, let's go heavier.
Let's go for the first track, End of Alone.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites.
All right. Well, this CD came out last year, and it's Tony Harnell and his another one of his projects, Starbreaker. And go pick this one up. It's available now, and the name of the CD is called Love's Dying Wish. And
it's actually out in the U.S. now. The release date was November 18th, I believe it was. So it is officially out in the States. So you should be able to pick it up on Amazon, CD Now, blah blah blah, all those great things. I don't know how well distributed it is in the actual stores, but it's all over the internet, so prices aren't bad.
Excellent. All right, well, here it is. This is Tony Harnell and Starbreaker, and this is called End of Alone. And once again, Tony, thanks for your time.
Thank you guys so much, and I will speak to you soon.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.